All right, all right. Let's get down to business. Ladies and gentlemen. It was a very fun first period for the Montreal Canadiens and their fans. And then it was a very not so fun third period for all of us. So the Habs lose 7-3 to the Leafs. Shayne Gaumond and myself live for the first time together in a very long time. And I don't know what to expect on this post-game show in terms of viewership, because like it's a big low right now after such a big high on the last several games, but there's lots to talk about, so I'm sure everyone's going to show up when they can. And we're a little bit late, but that's okay. It's just good to see you again, man. Like, it's been so long. It feels like I'm just catching up with an old friend here tonight. So how you doing, man?
It has been too long, Drew, and I was looking forward to this. We've been trying to set up a time to record, and it can never work. It can never work, but we got it done tonight. Lots to discuss, that's for sure. But yeah, should still be a fun show, right? We preach Habsativity here, so we did not forget that mindset, that term. We will stick to it.
Habs tonight lives on forever. Let's just say that, because I still go back and watch like old clips from our shows and stuff like that. Like, it's fun. I don't know. I love going back and taking a look at some of the old times, and they're still there. They're still watchable, right? But yeah, the Habs do blow a 3-goal lead to the Leafs, as you can see here. And then the Leafs score, I mean, if you include the empty netter, 7 unanswered. And frankly, that's just the Leafs, though. They're all offense. Their defense is questionable, but Joseph Woll really kind of stole the show tonight, I would say, Shaner.
Yeah, no, that's it. I mean, look, I can, this to me, I told you before the show, is a write-off. I can summarize this game with 2 words: puck luck. Right. And all credit to the Leafs. They earned that win. They deserve to win. No doubt about that. But the score does not reflect the game. Right. If you watch the game, you'll know. 3 clean posts by the Habs. Right. It was Dvorak, it was Goalie, and I think Caulfield, someone else. I remember it was 3. Joseph Woll made saves that 90% of the time he doesn't make. Right. It's just little things throughout the game, especially the second period on, that it was always on the Leafs side, right? And then the 2 missed calls by the refs, and I'm not going to blame the refs for this loss. Don't get me started there, but Robertson just throws Lane Hudson on the ground after the whistle for no reason. That's a pretty easy penalty. Some guy tripped Carey at one point as well.
Mitch
they didn't
Marner.
call that.
It was Marner.
So those are 2 missed calls. The Hudson one was, I think, a turning point, because that, like, the game was shifting towards the Leafs at that point, and it could have given the Habs a bit of life. The game was still, very tight. I think it was a 1-goal deficit at that point. So that was a pretty big missed call, and I think that the Habs went on the PK right after that too. So it just puck luck, right? The puck was not on the Habs side tonight, and that's why I say it's a write-off. The first period showed you what this team is, right? They dominated. It wasn't even close. This was all Habs. Right? 3 beautiful goals, well earned. That is the team. The second period, well, that's where the wheels fell off. And then they came back in the third. Credit to them. They actually stuck to it, and they played well. But puck luck. Those are the 2 words tonight, Drew.
What's the biggest reason you think for the puck luck? It's just the way it went against them. Like, it wasn't like they were playing a bad game, is what you're saying.
Not at all. Not at all. Look, it's far from their best as well, right? A lot of the passes were a little choppy. Usually, right, these past few games, we've been getting used to these crisp on the tape passes, and the plays have just been amazing. The chemistry between these players is evident now. You can see it. Tonight, it was just a bit off, right? And that little bit off makes a huge difference, especially when you're playing a team like the Leafs, who are a juggernaut. I mean, they're first in the Atlantic for a reason. They're a very good team, and credit to Joseph Woll, who made some great saves. And I better not see any comments against Sam Montembeault. Sure, he had 2 goals that probably would have wanted back, but he made some huge, huge saves tonight. He kept the team in it as well. So the goaltending through and through has been fantastic, right? Dobesh, what can we say about the guy? He's been lights out. But Montembeault, credit to him as well. He's proven himself to be a number 1. And he's earned his spot at the 4 Nations, right? Sure, you can say Logan Thompson deserves to be there. He's been great this season, right? But Sam Montembeault deserves to be there as well.
Yeah, I think it's just you want to save on that Matthews one-timer from Marner, but at the same time, like it's Austin Matthews. I mean, he's the one guy you don't want the puck on the stick at that time of the game, and Matthews was quiet up until that point of the game, and then all of a sudden that shot was pretty lethal, and Dobes will likely start tomorrow. Thank God this is the best possible time to have a back-to-back in this situation for Habs, because again, this is a game you want to forget about for sure. And then tomorrow you go right back at it with the Rangers, and you get Dobes first start at the Bell Center tomorrow. So that's a big one to look to, because they need to forget about this one.
And that's it. It's rinse and repeat, right? Like, okay, move on, go right to the next game. If they were to dwell on this game for too long, that could have been an issue. But they're right into the Rangers right now, right? And the Rangers, I believe, just won 1-0 in the shootouts, right? The very tight game with Columbus. So they're picking it back up now. They're not the stinky Rangers from a few weeks ago. So it's still going to be a good challenge. But I mean, the preparation, right? And okay, this is another thing I noticed too. We're sorely missing Emil Heineman right now. His loss is sorely felt. I noticed it tonight, right? Michael Pezzetta, I have no bad words for you, my friend. You give it your all every time you're on the ice. You wear that CH with pride. I love it. But Emil Heineman in this type of game would have thrived, right? Heavy on the forecheck, big shot. This is his type of game, and this is a game that we missed him dearly. But nonetheless, this team showed what they can do in the first, and they just need to do that for 3 periods tomorrow instead of just 1.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, Pez played less than 3 minutes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so every game getting 3 minutes out of a fourth line guy. Emil Heineman, Jake Evans, and Yoel Armia have been outstanding, the best fourth line in the NHL, probably. Easily. A lot of people have said, and you do notice it now, especially now. You got to give more minutes to other guys and spread that out a little bit more, right? So I think they definitely are missing Emil Heineman. He's been having such a good season, such like a rookie season too, and this is the type of game where he would thrive too, because again, just hard on the forecheck, good offensively, good defensively, like plays physical. Like Canadiens were playing physical, and well, we probably should talk about the first period and the fight that wasn't, right? Because we all saw after the Habs went up 3-0, Arber Xhekaj just.
Whoop. Think we lost you there, Dekes, but I'll take over for a second until you get your audio back. No, that was a fun point there in the game, and I really liked what Xhekaj did there. You're back. Of shooing Reeves away, right? He smoked him. One of the best hits this season. Beautiful, clean hit. Perfectly timed. Anyways, that thing was a thing of beauty. But when Reeves is like, okay, let's go. Like, what are we doing here? Xhekaj shoos him away. I thought that was perfect. Here's why. Xhekaj is so much more valuable to the Habs than Reeves is to the Leafs. If the Leafs go 5 minutes without Reeves, doesn't make a single lick of difference. Habs go 5 minutes without Xhekaj, you lose a defenseman out of your rotation. You got to go 5D for 5 minutes. Not ideal, right? So I thought it was a brilliant move by him. Shoo him away. He's not worth your time. You've beaten him up already, right? You've done your job. So A1 by Xhekaj there. Loved it.
You got me back now, right? Still?
Yes, sir. You're back.
Okay. And I did hear everything you were saying.
Cut out again. Live technical difficulties, the beauty of sports broadcasting. Love it.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
You probably can without my mic. I have a backup cable, actually. I'm going to grab that. So I heard everything you were saying, though, in terms of shooing away Ryan Reeves. It kind of was the right thing to do. Looking back now, is hindsight 2020. Should he have just taken the opportunity, fought Reeves, probably beat him, and then, like, what do you make of that decision now? Like, was it really a big deal to not fight him, or it doesn't really make a difference in the end?
I don't know if, sometimes guys, I'm sure that's what Reeves wanted to do, right? His purpose of fighting Xhekaj was to re-energize his team. They were down 3-0. He wanted to bring some life, some pep into the bench. And I at that point, right, since it's 3-0, you don't want to give the Leafs a chance of getting that pep. Even if Xhekaj wins the fight, the matter of Reeves fighting could energize that bench, and you don't want to give them that chance. So I have no problem with Xhekaj skipping that one. Trust me, I love to see a good old sheriff brawl like that. That thing's awesome. This guy can throw down, but I've seen plenty. I didn't need to see one tonight. He laid him out, which was plenty enough for me. Xhekaj did his job there. No comments.
Yeah, no issue there. I think my mic's back on now.
Yes, sir.
Sorry for that. This is actually the first time it's happened. This mic's been good for years, so forgive me. But so you have no issue with him not taking the fight, basically, and
not at all.
Some people are upset about Monty. I'm seeing in the comments, but a big save that was needed. But again, I don't think was it more defensive lapses here a little bit, Shinner? Like let's just talk about the Leafs goals and the comeback that they did make, because it started in the second period, and the second goal was a tip by Nick Robertson, so I remember that one, and the first one was Bobby McMahon. So it was a good shot. Like that was a good shot coming down.
It was,
and that made it 3-1, and then Robertson 3-2. And then Nylander on the breakaway. I mean, like that was Lane Hudson just not being able to catch up.
That's fine. Listen, William Nylander is elite player in the NHL. I don't like the Leafs. I think that's very.
I give more respect to Matthews.
The logo in the background here, but William Nylander, I would take him on my team any day of the week. This guy is elite, right? His puck protection is next to none. He knows how to evade coverages. He's so smart, so skilled. Listen, any time that Marner made a play tonight, it's a write-off, right? Very few players like him in the NHL. And again, this team showed their age, right? A lot of the mistakes were just naive mistakes, right? The inexperience. And the Leafs are an experienced team. It's that simple, right? I'm really not worried by this game. Maybe I'm just too optimistic from this stretch of games that we've had. But again, it's a large enough sample size to where I really this does not affect me at all. I know that this team's going to bounce back tomorrow, and I don't know if they're going to win, but at least they're going to have a good showing. Tonight they played 1.5 periods. Obviously, that's not good enough to win. But that 1.5 period that they played damn well. Yeah,
for sure. So what do you make of this comment from Mick, who says, call up someone to take Pez's roster spot this week? I think it's inevitable that they're going to have to, right? Because Emil Heineman might be out 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, who are you calling up?
A lot of people have been saying this name, and I completely agree. It's Jared Davidson for me. You don't really, I mean, Joshua Roy got injured, so I wouldn't have called him up anyways, because you want someone who can take Emil Heineman's spot. Joshua Roy is not that guy. Joshua Roy plays in the middle six. He does not play fourth line. That's not his role, right? Jared Davidson, however, is a dog. I've loved him this season in Laval. He's been fantastic. He's got that grit and that offensive upside that Emil Heineman has. So he'd be my call-up for sure. He's earned it. He's been, I think, Laval's best goal scorer this season. So, I think Jared Davidson would be my call. But again, you have to gauge with Laval, right? If they're also in the playoff hunt. They're first, or maybe they still, I don't know. They played tonight, but before tonight's game, they were first in the AHL, right? So you want to also give them the best odds of winning, right? Anyways, there's a lot of logistical points here, but if everything, if every party agrees, Jared Davidson would be my call up.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch much of Laval, but I mean, that's the name I've been hearing more than anybody else. So, but you need quality minutes, right? You can't just have Pez coming in for 3 minutes a night. It's just not sustainable.
No. And the fact that you're rotating wingers is also not good, right? You're not creating line consistency. And those wingers are going to be, more tired. That's just a fact. So no, you absolutely need 4 lines that you can roll consistently. That was the case with Heineman, right? That fourth line was just, they were the best fourth line in the NHL. His loss is it's more significant than we think, clearly. But no, okay, this I agree. Okay, look. Okay, this is not a negativity show. We preached it at the beginning. You can tell the truth tonight.
You can tell the truth, Shane.
It's Habs-ativity tonight, except for Christian Dvorak. I'm very sorry.
He's the whipping boy, man. He is so the whipping boy.
It's not working. It's just not working. Every time he crosses the offensive blue line, he forgets how to play hockey. It's not good. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Look, I can tell you what I see. What I see is poo-poo. Okay. I don't know what off the ice. I'm sure he's a great guy. I don't know him. I'm not going to tell you.
Get him out of that 5-guy hug when we win. Get him out of there.
But see, that's the thing, right? He's clearly,
they probably love him.
He's clearly loved. He's probably a locker room guy. I know he's tight with Caulfield, right? So maybe they're hesitant in trading him. No, I'm getting rid of him as soon as possible. Any value you can get for him is good. He's supposed to be this face-off specialist, good defensively. Tonight he was 41% on the face-off dot when the team was actually 58% on the night. No bueno. Not good. Not good. And defensively, honestly, he's not that good either. So I'm trying to find some value in Christian Dvorak. I really can't. And quite frankly, he's by far the weakest link on the team. No one else is playing that bad. Like his line, right? With Josh Anderson and Brandon Gallagher. Josh Anderson was fantastic tonight. He always is against the Leafs, but he was amazing.
Yeah.
True power horse, right? Brandon Gallagher is Brandon Gallagher. That's what, what you're going to get. And he gives you that every game.
He played well. He worked hard. He
did.
So many guys missed chances at the goal mouth. We had tons of chances that we just didn't capitalize on.
Exactly.
And again, Woll just was a bit of a wall at the right time. At the right time. I mean, that's the whole thing. Timing was everything. And Woll just made himself look big with those shoulder saves here and there. And they were timely key saves, man. I mean, that's what made the difference in terms of keeping the Leafs in it and then giving them a chance to get their goals back. But Christian Dvorak, though, man, it's there's just he's not bringing nearly enough to the team. It's like being down 2 players when you have Heineman out, like when you have Devo in and Heineman out, it's like being down 2 forwards. That's how it feels sometimes.
That's it. And I don't know what his value on the market would be. I'm guessing somewhere
here's his value, the latest comment.
Honestly, maybe like a 5th, a 4th max. I don't
even
know
care if we get anything
right. And we can get into the free agents stuff if you want, but Christian Dvorak, gone. I'm not even hesitating. Like anybody who calls me, yep, he's yours. And the fact is that we actually do have someone to replace him. Owen Beck can slot in this lineup and play way better than Christian Dvorak tomorrow. He is amazing in Laval. I've went to see a game live.
And
I've watched their games every time I can on TV. He has been so consistently great in Laval. He's their first liner now, first line center, right? He's been amazing. So bring up Owen Beck, slot him right in that chair. Don't have to change the whole landscape. Beck and Devo out. Exactly. Slot him in that third line. He'd be great with Anderson and Gallagher. I'd do it tomorrow.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, you're not alone. Gianni, thank you for the nice comment. Appreciate that. If you guys are watching tonight live, do us a favor. Hit like on the video. We appreciate that if you could do that. And I think I have a button for it. Yeah, so smash the like button. We appreciate it, guys. A tough loss tonight because we've been riding high. And then this is the lowest low since what? December? Like early December?
And it's not even that low. Quite frankly,
it's kicking. I think it's a bit of a gut punch. It's a bit of a gut punch because of the hot start to the game.
Yeah,
I came into this game expecting to beat the Leafs, who have had not a great run lately. Like they've come back. They beat New Jersey, but they lost to Dallas. We beat Dallas. Mm-hmm. There was just like, if you were watching Dangle or following the Leafs a little bit, their power play. All the talk has been about their power play and how they need to change it. And there's $54 million on their power play. On the Toronto Maple Leafs power play, and it wasn't.
They don't have a defenseman there. It's 5 forwards.
Yeah,
I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah, Riley's been struggling, but tonight they capitalize when they need to. But Willie Nylander's to me the best Maple Leaf. Like that's just the most obvious thing to me. Like you notice, like that guy drives the team. He drives play, and he's dangerous most of the time that he's out there. So to anybody who has him in fantasy, you got a good pick there.
Mm-hmm. No, I know the guy I'm playing next week traded for him recently, so I'm not too thrilled about that. But no, he is he honestly, he might actually be underrated, right? Maybe because he's overshadowed by the likes of Matthews and Marner. But like you said, tonight he was by far the best Leafs player, aside from Joseph Woll, right? The best skater on the Leafs. Yeah. Not even close.
Yeah, it was Woll and Nylander to me.
Yeah, credit to Willie Nylander. He was amazing.
So what do you think about Dobeš? Like, is it too early to say like he's the next star? I think it's too early to say that at this point. Like, it's a bad game tonight.
Yeah,
bad second half of the game for Montembeault, but you can't like, I think you have to, like, if you're going to keep the Canadiens in the mix at this point. This is a game, though. It's a bit of an anomaly. Like, there hasn't been a blowout, and I wouldn't even consider this one a blowout. This isn't like Seattle, the Rangers, or
Vegas. We were at the Vegas game.
We were at the Vegas game. Drove 7 hours to see that beautiful game. But this, to me, what didn't feel like a blowout, but it felt like a gut punch to the high that we came in on. Like I said, 3-0 after this first period, and like, I came into this game confident, and we put on a show in the first period. Patrick Laine scoring another one on the power play. That's his 11th goal. Lane Hudson with the 7-game point streak, his second 7-game point streak. Kirby Dach like scoring the goal before, when the Canadiens are 6-on-5 on the delayed penalty call, and then Josh Anderson coming in with his 8th goal. So again, like, we were spoiled for the last 4 weeks, I would say, about last month and a bit. And that's why, to me, tonight, this is disappointing, is because we couldn't really come back and even like get a point out of this game. It just seemed like the Leafs smelled blood in the water a little bit as they tied it. And Nylander tied the game early in the third period. It was like Toronto's. Right, it was Toronto's game to lose at that point, because they tied it. They came back. They clawed back. And then at that point, it was like, it's up to the Canadiens to, like, the win was taken out of their sails. I think the Leafs did a good job of that. And Joseph Woll, Nylander, there was a few players that made that happen.
Exactly. But nonetheless, shots were 35-34 Montreal, right? Like, the score really does. If you didn't watch the game, the score does not reflect this game whatsoever.
All right, fine. It's a blowout. Leave us alone.
I completely disagree with Oasis. It is not a blowout. Not a blowout at all, because the Habs were in it. A blowout means they were never in it. They're blown out, right?
There was no chance. In it. There was no chance.
Look, the Steven Lorentz goal, right? That was just a miscommunication, right? There's a lot of miscommunication I noticed tonight as well. I feel like the guys were just a little bit off, right? Like I said earlier, just a little bit off, and that changed a lot of things. But it does hurt. But I'm moving on very fast. Again,
I think you have to. For how well we've been playing, this is the first time. This is the first time we can say this sucks.
And sample size is big enough. That's what I keep reiterating. The sample size is big enough against the best teams in the league. It's not, if they did that against the San Jose Sharks, I'd probably be pissed tonight. I'd be pissed. Yeah. But it's the Leafs. It's the Leafs. Like, it's to be expected. This is a young team in their first year of, like, okay, we're starting to win now, right? Earlier, when we did a show, I think it was our first show after the draft, I said the rebuild is over. I still mean that. The rebuild is over. Rebuilding means acquiring the pieces, getting the butts on the chairs, right? As Marty likes to say, those damn chairs. We have the butts on the chairs, and we have plenty more waiting in the back room, right?
Which is exactly what this comment says, because they're missing a game breaker. Well, he's coming, guys. He's coming.
Exactly.
So don't you worry your pretty little hairs. And I think Michael Hage will be a top 6 forward on this team. At least top center. 9. At least. Yeah, I think Kirby, it'll be a compliment if Kirby's a third line center.
Kirby might go to the wing.
I
wouldn't hate that either.
Why not? You got Owen Beck coming too. So, like, you got the centerman, you got Jake Evans still here. You got Kapanen, who could be your fourth line center of the future, maybe if Jake doesn't stay. So there's a lot of questions here. I know why fans are upset tonight. Like, they should be. And 7 unanswered. I get the whole thing about this was a blowout and all that stuff. Maybe to an extent you have a point. But to me, like, the Toronto Maple Leafs, all they have is offense. That's all they have. So whenever they turn it on, it's on. Montreal has and is developing good goaltending, possibly great goaltending, with Fowler coming and Dobeš maybe taking over the number 1 spot eventually. Defensively, it's good to see Ryan Backer skating again, by the way. Defensively, we have solid prospects. We have solid defensemen in place. And our forward group is getting better and better by the year. They're still very, very young. So to me, every part of the Canadiens is getting better. The Leafs have offense. They have a decent goaltender right now. He's playing well. But are they sustainable for a cup run? Like, that's always what it comes down to. And Montreal is trying to build a sustainable, team that's going to make several runs every year.
Yeah.
But Toronto, to me, again, is still not proven. They're still not proven despite all this offense. Like, they're just offense to me. And that's it.
I'll be able to,
and I'll give Joseph all respect for sure.
No doubt. He saved them multiple times. He gets a lot of credit there.
Ekman Larson had a good game. Like, don't get me wrong, there was defensemen that played well, but like, I'm still not convinced.
I got to see until after the trade deadline what they do. Yeah, I think they still need an offensive defenseman. Not having a defenseman on the first power play is going to bite you in the ass sooner or later, right? You're going to allow breakaway opportunities, and Jake Evans drew a penalty from that. That's a big question mark for me. And I would like to add another center, maybe just another middle six forward, because Domi's playing way too much. Domi doesn't have it, man. Domi doesn't have it. He was awful tonight. If they can do that, maybe they can get past the first round. But until then, this team, I don't know. I really don't know with the Leafs.
I like Berube a lot. I think he's the coach they needed. They've been playing better under him overall.
Yeah.
But I still like. What did you make of the William Nylander comment? Because the other day he's like, "Oh, it's just 3 games. It's a big deal." And then he scores what 3-4 goals in the next 2 games. So like, Willie is just not affected by the market. I don't think the market of Toronto has ever affected William Nylander.
No, I think to me. Well, again, I'm not a Leafs fan. I don't know the ins and out of this team, but he is the second most crucial player to this team. Obviously, Austin Matthews is, an elite player, but Nylander is right there with him.
Willie's just calm with the puck too. Like, you just see the little plays he makes. Like, he doesn't panic. He's so cool and calm. So all the power to him in that sense. We have a super chat I want to get to, but there's also a comment that came up that I wanted to say. The future looks bright for sure, but I don't think the Habs can win the cup with Monty. I hope so. I wish he could. I don't think Samuel Montembeault. I'd like to see Sammy get at least one playoff run in before he's done with us.
Yeah,
but at the moment it's Dobeš and Fowler is our future in net.
Fowler just picked up his 5th shutout in the NCAA.
Like, it's right now it's as clear as day.
Look, this guy is next level. Right. I get the privilege of working with some very knowledgeable people at the SICK network. One of them being Pierre Maguire, who has seen his fair share of goalies. And listen, when I tell you he is sold on Fowler, he's multiple times he's referenced Martin Brodeur, right? Not saying that they're going to be the same guys, but similar style, similar mindsets, right? And then Jakub
Fowler's
Dobeš,
a gamer.
Dobeš. I mean, if Dobeš is your backup, you're in good position. You're in very good position. So no, look, I love Samuel Montembeault. I love what he's doing. I love what he's done for this team, and I want him to stay on the team as long as possible. But ultimately, I think it will be Fowler and Dobeš.
Yeah, I mean, that's the future to me. Like, that's what I'm seeing. So thank you very much, Oasis, by the way, who we just disagreed with a minute ago, but we love you anyway. Thank you so much.
It's a discourse. He's a knowledgeable fan because he's here. He's listening to the Drew Dekes channel. So he's a knowledgeable fan.
Hey, you know what?
It's a discourse. We can disagree. It's fine.
What I love about my channel, I think, and all you guys watching too, and again, do hit the like button. Seriously though, thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much. Like, any contribution you want to make, it's always the viewers that keep this channel going, because and then when the Habs do well, because when the Habs do well, everyone shows up here. I shouldn't say everyone, but a lot of folks show up. I don't tell myself that I deserve that, but I listen to my subscribers. My subscribers and viewers know way more than me. I don't care the fact that I have a little channel here. To me, everybody teaches me more than I could ever learn on my own. So I just wanted to throw that out there, because that's how I feel. I think the comments coming in are great because they really give insight into what everyone's seeing. And but I don't know if I had a chance for you to answer that question. If Dobes does win tomorrow, do you see Dobeš starting if he wins tomorrow against the Rangers against Tampa on Tuesday?
Tampa against
Like, do you go with them? Because I think you do at this point.
that one's at home as well, right?
It's at home as well.
3-game home streak.
Yeah, I think you do. I think he's got a point.
Yeah.
So
the fact that you have this option, right? A few weeks ago with Primo, it's like, okay, we have to run Montembeault every game. Primo was a liability, right? And he's doing well in Laval. He's an AHL goalie, and that's where he's gonna thrive, right? But enough about Primo. Dobeš gives you options, and if he's hot, why not run the hot goalie? Yeah. Like, sure. There's no reason not to. So he's proven that he's able to handle the big teams. He's done that on the road. Sure, if he wins tomorrow, I have no problem seeing him against Tampa.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. Rantanen, I don't see him going anywhere, but they're trying to make Slav into the next Rantanen, right? It seems like.
Yeah. But hey, listen, if Patrick Laine and Joel Armia can maybe swindle Mikko to sign in Montreal in the offseason, yeah, I'll take him. I mean, I'd love to have him on the Habs, but realistically, he's going to stay in Colorado, and the price tag is pretty high, right?
Yeah.
Again, quick moment here for Kent Hughes, Jeff Gorton, and John Sedgwick. Okay, got to give some love to the cap master. The way that this team has handled their cap is masterful. It's amazing, right? The only bad contracts, if you will, came from previous regime. Dvorak, Anderson, Gallagher, all making more than they should, all signed by Marc Bergevin, right? Patrick Laine making $8 million, not Kent Hughes who signed him. And I do have to thank Marc Bergevin for signing Nick Suzuki to that contract, because he became the benchmark. And now they have Caulfield signed lower than him for 8 years. Well, less than 8 years now, but an 8-year contract less than Suzuki. They have Slav less than Suzuki, Goalie less than Suzuki. The only guys who will make more are Hudson and Demidov. Now, Hudson, you still have another year of his ELC after this one. And Demidov, you're going to have 3 years at under $1 million. The cap management with this team is phenomenal. So now going back to the Rantanen thing, he's likely going to be asking for around $13 million a year is my guess, especially since the cap is going up. That is a big pill to swallow. Pill to swallow.
That's like better than Willie Nylander. Friggin'
he will likely be the highest.
Yeah,
he will likely be the highest paid player in the league, or very close to that. I don't know that I would do that. I like keeping cap integrity and flexibility. The fact that the cap is growing is a great sign, and it'll allow the team to secure solid depth when they're in their playoff runs, right? When they're in that window where they're going to be consistently good, they're going to be able to sign that good depth, which I think is crucial, right?
I think they'll do that.
I'll pass on Rantanen.
I think 2026. I think 2026 is our summer. If somehow, some miracle way, Kaprizov does not re-sign with Minnesota this summer, that's a sign that he could be available next summer in 26. And that's the only player that I thought, like, man. And can you picture Demidov and Kaprizov on this team? Like, that'd be just stupid. That'd just be stupid. But I'd love it.
Yeah. Whoa.
Thanks. Shout out to Oasis for another super chat. My gosh, you're generous, man. Bless you. Thank you so much. Seriously, I appreciate it.
And I do like this comment, by the way. I do like this comment because Oasis clearly cares. This fan base loves this team.
Nobody cares more than us. Nobody.
It's a fact. It's a fact, right? The Bell Center was buzzing before the game. The team got a standing ovation as they stepped into the ice, right?
I can't wait for playoffs.
The fan base yearns for wins and success after 3 years of misery, right? So I love this comment by Oasis, and I completely understand. I'm more of the rational, big picture type, right? But the emotional fan, I completely get it, and those are good fans, right? They care. They want this team to win, so I love it.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like we reward. That's why the first that's why this game is so disappointing in terms of the result and how it ended because of how great it started.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say. Like it just we were riding a high. We were coming in confident to this game. The Canadiens were coming in confident, ready to play. Play our big division rival, our historic rival in the Toronto Maple Leafs, and then to have it go this way. We just haven't been used to it. Like this hasn't happened, right? And then it's happening against Toronto in a game that meant a lot to the fans. That was the disappointing part, not hard, and that was what was hard to take, I think, for a lot of us. But like we said earlier, the best possible time for a back-to-back to put this one in the rearview mirror is after this game. So, I would say it even as soon as tomorrow, we could see a call up from Laval. Like I haven't checked Twitter or anything, but like I would not be surprised to see a call up because you just can't have Michael Pezzetta playing 3 minutes a game.
No,
like I mentioned, we've talked about it too many times. We're all kind of sick of the Christian Dvorak, not being able to contribute, et cetera, et cetera. But I just think it's time for something. We need another shakeup. Oasis went for the hat trick tonight. Look at this. My gosh, you're like paying my Tim Hortons bill here.
This guy's the best.
You guys do a great job. Keep it up, guys. Some media are so negative and depressing. Well, that's not us. We are Habsitivity all the way, all the time.
Through and through, baby.
And yeah, please email me, Oasis, because I'm going to email me, drewdeeks@gmail.com. I just want to thank you again personally. That's 3 super chats that needs to be acknowledged to me. So thank you very, very much. I hope you stick around for other shows and other videos because this is not a small thing. When somebody puts their money down like this, I don't care how little or how much. I mean, you went for the hat trick tonight. That's $30 coming in from you. So I just want to thank you so much. I never would have expected that. So Oasis, you know what's up, and email me, drewdeeks@gmail.com. I really, really appreciate that. So yeah, so far no call ups from the Laval Rocket, but Shayne, it seems like more and more people are wanting something to give here.
It'll be tomorrow. And I don't see them not calling someone up because it's clearly not sustainable. All the love to Pez, right? Like his effort cannot be undermined. He's always given it his all, but the talent just isn't there. He's not following the IQ, right? The game is played so fast. If he's not able to keep up, he takes penalties, right? And it's just, yeah, he's probably more suited for the AHL. That's just an unfortunate fact because I'm a big fan of Pez.
Right. Mike Matheson with a quote from the room tonight. I think it's sometimes good to get a little punch in the teeth and kind of remind us how good every team is in this league.
Brought back down to earth. Yeah,
they knew that, but this brought them back down to earth for sure. But speaking of teeth, Nick Suzuki, my gosh,
lost the jib. Oh no,
yeah, he looked like Lloyd Christmas. He looked like Lloyd.
Yeah, Matthews better pick up the bill at the dentist office. That was quite the whack there in the face. Woof.
That's where to me I was getting I was getting on them at that point because we scored at the end of the power play and we were up 3-0. And I was like, oh man, this is our night. Like I had a feeling we would win big, and then the other team won big in the end. But yeah, that was like, again, like we're riding the high of the first part of that game. And again, you got to put it in the rearview mirror. Like if this is a playoff game like that really hurts. Like, you know what I mean? But we're not even close to the playoffs yet. Like I'm not saying the team isn't, like there's still time to make a run at a wild card spot. Regardless, we want this team to be progressive this season, which wasn't happening for the first 2 months. And then it really has turned around. So that's why your vision is correct in terms of long-term. Like that's the beauty of this rebuild right now, is because when a stinker of a finish to this game that this was, it's all about looking ahead and seeing what is sustainable, what isn't. Dvorak is not going to be here. Pezzetta not going to be here. So I think that these holes will be plugged. And then you got to think, for all those Samuel Montembeault folks that aren't big fans, I don't think Monty's here long-term either. So Dobesh, Fowler, I mean, all these holes are going to be filled. Owen Beck's going to be coming in. I think he's on this roster next season. I don't know for a fact, but I think guys like Florian Xhekaj and Luke Tuck will probably spend more time in Laval. But I think Owen Beck is coming up to make this roster next season.
Owen Beck is NHL ready. I mean, look, we've both spoken to the guy. He's
I'm
gem.
biased, but he's on my wall over here. Right here.
So am I. Like
that's me and Owen right there.
Yeah, we had him on the Recruits Draftcast with Grant McCaggan.
We've both talked to him. Yeah,
he was a treat. Like just an amazing guy, and
he's a brilliant kid,
so smart. And I got a chance to see him in person there. I was at the CN Sports Complex in Brossard, and dude is jacked. Like
he looks like a hockey.
This
player.
is a man. He is a man, right? And
yeah,
look. He's ready for the NHL. I'll tell you that right now. He could easily do better than Christian Dvorak right now. Listen, you're fleecing McDonald with that deals.
You're fleecing McDonald's. I want to bring this up because I know that you're host of your show, the Sick Podcast with Tony Marinaro. Alex Newhook is a third line center or a third line player. That's his chair, is what Tony says.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty fair.
Yeah,
top six is not the ideal spot for Alex Newhook.
I wouldn't say,
but he's not as bad as Dvorak.
No. He's not the worst top six player in the NHL, but ideally, sure, you would have him in more of a third line role, and I think that is going to be his chair. Again, there's a lot of good young players coming in, so he's going to have to step it up sooner rather than later to not get his chair stolen. But as soon as next year he's on the third line, like Demidov's going to slide in immediately on the second, might move up to the first in the middle of the season. But look, that second line, right? They've been really like significantly better as of late, right? When they kind of got put together, Kirby was still getting his wheels back, right? Line hadn't played for a year and then got injured right when he came back and then rehab from that injury. So he took some time. He's still taking time, right? And Newhook was neither here nor there, right? That second line, I got to give credit to them. They've been much, much better. And Kirby Dach, I think, is the main reason for that.
He's playing great.
He got his swagger back. Kirby's back, okay? Another great goal tonight, but he's holding on to the puck, right? He's got such smooth hands. He uses his body well.
Remember in the corner tonight? You saw with the puck. It was a stick handling phone booth there.
He wasn't doing that at the beginning of the season. He was dumping it, right? He was moving away from the hits. No, now he's in it. We got Kirby back, right? And I never gave up on him. I can testify to that. There's proof. I never gave up on Kirby Dach, and I'm glad I didn't. A lot of people did, but he's proving you wrong right now. He is back, right? And if that guy is going to be sliding into your third line when it's all said and done, then you're cooking. You're cooking. If Kirby Dach's on your third line, yeah, you got some crazy depth. Oasis, you're the best, man.
Look at this guy. I'm going to share this with Shane because you know what? It's so cheap to go to a prospects game. I'm just going to take you to a prospects game on Oasis. Oasis is sending us to the Prospects Challenge in September to see Ivan Demidov.
That's all you, baby. That's all you.
We're going again. I mean, it's happening. We're going again.
Oh, yeah. I'm there.
For Ivan? Yeah, we're going. Yeah, we're going.
Trust me, I might just buy myself a jersey. Look, I listen, I'm not going to proclaim that I'm a scout. Far from it, right? I don't watch enough footage. Grant is a much better scout than I am. He actually does scout, right? But I do try to keep up with the prospects and all that. And I got a lot of tape on Demidov last year before he got drafted. And I told you, right? Listen, if we get him, it's essentially the lottery. It's crazy, right?
You said you have to run to the stage if Demidov's available. And Celine Dion should have walked a little faster.
Thank you, Celine.
I love
and that being in person for that moment will stay tattooed on my brain forever.
Dude, you were there.
It was
you were
bananas. But the point is, we've been yearning for a franchise elite offensive player.
We'll avenge this game. Folks. We'll avenge this game. We'll avenge this.
This is him.
Game. Franchise player. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off on your speech there. Go ahead.
No, trust me. Ivan Demidov is going to be him. Statistically speaking, he is. I'm not exaggerating here. This is a fact. Statistically speaking, he is the best prospect to come out of Russia since Alex Ovechkin. Am I saying that he's going to be immediately better than Kaprizov and Panarin and all that and Kucherov? No, I'm not. Right. but the upside is there. When was the last time the Habs had a prospect with that kind of upside? I wasn't born. I don't even know who. It's crazy.
No.
This guy's going to change this team when he comes in next year, and it's only going to go up from there. Drew, this season was supposed to be, okay, well, we're going to pick in the 10s, right? Now there's a chance they're actually going to make the playoffs. They're deep into the mix. They're ahead. They're ahead of their progression. It's only up from here. That's why I'm not worried. I'm really not worried. I see the big picture. I see where this team is headed. They're headed to the promised land.
Hey, I like the sound of that.
That's it.
But Demidov, to me, like, this is our Austin Matthews, if you will. Like, to me, there's not going to be a more hyped forward on this team for a long time. And what I mean by that too is, like, I expect a really good NHL debut out of Demidov. I really do. I'm not saying 4 goals like Matthews. And by the way, the Leafs still lost that game, which was embarrassing. But you know, like, to me, this is going to be the most hyped forward prospect we've, like, since Guy Lafleur. Like, I don't really know who else to compare him to, but the fact is, I think that's how exciting he's going to be. And every goal is a highlight. Like, I know we all see the highlights, and, like, you know, we don't see all of the tape like you and Grant have and other scouts have, but I think he is just going to be that much of a difference maker, to the point where next year there won't be these games anymore with division rivals. We won't have those blowout games. He's just going to make that much of a mark on this team, man. I'm so, we're not there yet, but it's like, you see the future, and I almost can't picture how good it's going to be at the same time. It's weird to say. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I'm having a hard time explaining myself because I'm so excited for Ivan Demidov.
It's crazy stuff. And to think
we
that
all
the Habs have 2 more first-round picks in this draft. Like, they're going to add to that. It's nuts. It's nuts. And look, I will say that this upcoming draft is fairly weak. It's not the strongest whatsoever. Damon in the chat. Yes. Love it. But it's a fairly weak draft, but you're still going to get first-round talent. You're going to get 2 first-round talents. So unless you trade one, and again, now they're at a point where they can actually consider trading first-round picks. You know, before that, It was all about accumulating them and, okay, more. Now they might be trading one or both of them. I wouldn't put it past them. Like, Kent Hughes is a wizard. You know, he makes something out of nothing. That Sean Monahan trade still blows me away. I don't know how he did that. Sean Monahan in a first, and you flip Monahan for another first. That's you got 2 firsts out of thin air. That's crazy stuff. That's our GM right now. No more of that Dwight King and Steve Ott and Andreas Martinson at the trade deadline. That is gone. Bye-bye.
2017 playoffs. Oh,
no more.
Radulov. Oh, man. Yeah.
We're dealing with competent people.
What a waste.
Right? So I have full trust in the management and in the coaching staff. Martin St. Louis is the guy. I will die by that. He is the guy. I have full trust in the people in charge right now. He handled this game tonight. Like, I know he'll be disappointed, but he reacted properly. He just kind of knew, like, okay, like, we had to be humbled. So fine. You know what's funny is I said that Demidov would be the Russian Rocket 2.0. Like Pavel Bure, we can't forget about that. That's, like, you know, one of the better Russian players of all time. But I mean, the next Russian Rocket, like, I was actually starting to call him that, the Russian Rocket 2.0. Where is it here? I think he just went for a 5th one. I think we just got a 5th super chat. Oasis. Oh my God. Oasis is trying to like get me to retire from my day job. What's going on here? Where do you get all this money, man? What do you do for a living, Oasis? Oh, we need to be friends with Oasis. We're going to go to a game with this guy. Where are you from? Oasis, tell us where you're from at the very least. Thank you. But thank you, seriously. To get to his comment, though, if Dobeš wins, it'll cause controversy. I don't know that it will.
Not at all.
Sam Montembeault has the tag of number one goalie, but tags are imaginary, right? It's not like he's tattooed and okay, it's in his contract. He's got to play this many games. It's a very fluid situation. Look at the Maple Leafs. They're a great example of that. They've been running Anthony Stolarz most of the year as the number one, but he goes out and Joseph Woll takes his spot. There's Washington Capitals.
Playoffs.
Yeah, Washington Capitals, the best team in the NHL, right? Logan Thompson, Charlie Lindgren. Now it's leaning more Thompson, but you ride the hot goalie. I don't know that it's going to be controversial, but I would like if Dobeš has a hot start again, roll him.
There's nothing controversial about winning.
And another thing too,
if you're the winning goalie, you go with them.
Exactly. And there doesn't seem to be a lot of egos in that locker room, right?
Think about Pizzetta and Struble.
Exactly. And Matheson is a great example of that because Lane Hutson took over his power play spot, right? So he's getting a lot less ice time, a lot less points than he did last year. He took it like a champ, right? He is a great mentor. If anybody says trade Mike Matheson, I'm sorry you don't know hockey. This guy is crucial, essential to this team. Maybe his time will run out. Yeah, maybe his time will run out before they go on the cup run, right?
Eventually.
But right now,
yeah, of course, yeah.
You don't trade Mike Matheson. There's no ego in that locker room, and it's huge. That is a huge point.
Caden Gooley is going to be our number one defenseman. I mean, I think him and Reinbach are.
Wow. I
mean, left is. I don't know that they'll be the top pair. They could be. I think the expectation for Reinbacher would be top pair ceiling, second pair minimum. But no, we will not cool. No, we will not cool the hype on Ivan Demidov. No,
Jason, trust me.
He is worth the hype, and you'll see. He'll show you. Yeah. Thank you for coming out. No, seriously, no. Like I was excited. Let me tell you this. In the 4 years I've been doing this channel, I was very, very excited about Cole Caulfield.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Tell me I'm crazy. I was very excited because of you. You're the first person I heard about Lane Hutson from, was you, Shayne Gaumond. And I thought to myself, Lane Hutson's going to be as exciting as Caulfield was as a forward. I was excited about Lane Hutson as I was for Caulfield, and look what he's done in his rookie season. Yeah. Ivan Demidov, 2 notches above both of them. Maybe more.
Same here.
Like he's
same here.
He's the guy. He's the guy.
His upside
you are not going to be saying this when he gets here.
His upside is ridiculous. Like, it's crazy, right? And is he going to reach that upside? I don't have a magic ball to tell you. What I can tell you, however, is that next year he'll be coming into a very good spot. Immediate top 6 minutes, great coach, great line mates, right? His transition from the KHL to the NHL, I don't see a hitch going there. The only thing maybe is that is he going to have another comrade on the team, right? Maybe they get another Russian to help him transition and feel a bit more comfortable. But nonetheless, I really don't see an issue with Demidov. And I mean, he's going from Roman Rottenberg, the guy who's playing him on the 4th line for like 3 minutes, no power play, to Martin St. Louis. That is a pretty significant step up. So trust me, he's going to have all the tools, all the opportunities to succeed. I don't see how this fails.
Oasis, meet us at the Habs home opener when Ivan Demidov makes his NHL debut, because I'll be there. I'm going.
I gotta go too.
We're going.
Gotta go.
Someone made a comment not that long ago. They think that Demidov's going to get Slavkovsky going when he gets here. What do you think about that idea?
Internal competition is never a bad thing.
First
right?
overall,
both are wingers
for 5th. Yeah.
They bring different skill sets to the game. They're different players, right? Demidov is all smooth skill, finishing, creating. Slav is more of a ground and pound, get in front of the net, dirty rebounds. He's got a great shot. Underrated playmaker.
Yes.
But different players. We're on the same page, dude. But they're different players. So I think that the first and the second line are both going to end up being like first lines, right? You're not going to have, I don't know, oh my God, he's back again. Sorry. Let me just finish that point and we'll get to you, Oasis. But this is not going to be I don't want to say a Colorado situation because they won the cup, but where you have like, okay, McKinnon, Rantanen, Landeskog, and then everyone else. No, it's going to be like a first line, another first line, basically a second line, and a third line. That's what it's shaping up to be, right?
Ooh,
So
I like that.
Demidov, Slav, they can interchange whatever chemistry is best, right? Imagine Demidov just dishing the puck to line A for a whole season, right? I need it. I need it. So, or he could be dishing the puck to Cole Caulfield. It's like he's going to have so many toys to play with, right? And then he's going to have Lane Hutson dishing him the puck, and you see where we're going here, man. It's special. It's really special. Sorry, Oasis, it's your turn, buddy. You've earned it.
Well, yeah, we'll bring it back up here. I think it was a 5. I lost count. Like, my gosh. Thank you so much. I don't know what else to say. Thank you, Oasis, for the contributions tonight. Anybody else want to chip in? Like, don't make this guy do all the work. No, I'm just kidding. Don't feel obligated, but do hit the like button on this channel. It would be appreciated. Shayne Gaumond works day in and day out on the Sick Podcast, Tony Marinaro, and my gosh, you guys have taken off. Adding Knuckles Nyland.
It's a blast. He's
like,
the best, man. Yeah.
It's awesome. He's on tomorrow. He's on Sundays, which is great because it's always good to have a nice Sunday show. But yeah, I think we're gonna have to wrap it up here. It's getting to the end of the night. Just looking at any comments here. Yeah, I think in 2 to 3 years. John has had a lot of comments tonight, which I think have been pretty relevant. So thank you, John, for that. 2 to 3 years. I think Slav, he's still 20. Like, it's crazy to me how young Slavkovsky is. Like, I think he's really just in the very early stages still of his development. He has his moments where he's hot, but yeah, like I think he's going to be the way Grant McKegg has really nailed it with Slavkovsky is that you want to draft players that are going to help you win playoff games. Slavkovsky is that kind of guy. Bingo. So that to me is the kind of thing where it's like, yeah, long term, you're looking ahead. Demidov, Slavkovsky, Suzuki, of course, Caulfield, Goalie, Reinbacher, hopefully, Lane Hutson. I mean, there's lots of guys, Jacob Fowler, like, and Dobesh. There's lots of players that are going to help you win playoff games. That's what you're looking towards. So games like tonight, that's why it's good to just, what have we been talking about the last half of the show? The future, because that's what this is about. Thankfully, we've enjoyed a lot of great hockey lately. It's been a blast. This channel's come back to life too. Every time the Habs do well, all the Habs shows are doing well. The fans are happy. They've made us really happy lately. So tonight, that's why tonight was a downer, because the Habs have made us so happy lately that it was tough to take. It was like, oh, I forgot what this felt like. Oh,
exactly.
I totally forgot what it felt like to get punched in the gut. And that's what the Leafs did. So you know what? Good for us. It's part of the learning. It's part of the growth. It's not fun, but this isn't the arrival point. This isn't the destination. We're not there yet, but we're on our way, baby. All right. That's the best I
couldn't have said it better. That's perfect.
We have fun, don't we, buddy? It's been too long.
We got to do this more often. That's for sure.
We do. We certainly do. I think this week I'm going to see if you're available, because I'll explain why. Because I have a free trial for a week with StreamYard. So here we are. So that kind of worked out in my favor. But I will sign off and say to all of you, there's still comments coming in. This is my good buddy Mick here. Demidov will be the Lane Hutson target for his unbelievable stretch pass. Well, he'll be one of them, because I think a lot of people are going to be on the receiving end of that. But he will be. There will be some highlights with Hutson and Mr. Demidov involved. So that's cool. Thank you, everybody. Seriously, this has been a lot of fun to jump on with my good friend Shayne. It's been a while, too long actually, since we've done something together and live. We toughed it out after a tough loss here tonight, after getting beat by our rivals. But hats off to the Maple Leafs. I will give respect to them for that. To Joseph Woll for just putting on a stellar performance. We'll give them respect for that. Not too much respect, but we'll give them respect. It was a loss that didn't feel very good at all, but you know, we've been spoiled. So let's bounce back tomorrow night. I'll see you guys tomorrow night, no matter what. after this Rangers game where Dobeš makes his home debut. Let's end on a high note. We are going to see Jakub Dobeš make his Montreal Canadiens home debut in La Centre Bell tomorrow against the New York Rangers. I expect, should we expect a win out of this kid? What do you think? Is it too much to ask?
He's given me no reason to doubt him, right? And another great collaborator that we have on the Sick podcast, Mathieu Chouinard, former NHL goaltender. He comes on with Tony every Friday for his Friday French show around 2 p.m. He's sold, right? And he played NHL goalie. I'm no goalie expert by any means, right? I played 10 years of defense as a defenseman, playing like BA level. I sucked, right? But I know nothing about goaltending, next to nothing, right? I solely base my opinions on people who know a lot more than me. He knows a lot more than me. He's sold. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, well, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. It doesn't hurt. It does not hurt. Dobeš saw the result tonight. That will motivate him for the Rangers. Dobeš. Well, I think that's a good note to end on right there. So I will say to everybody, thank you all for watching. It has been, like I said, it's been a privilege. So, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and we will see you all again. Very, very, very soon. Pleasure as always, buddy. Thank you so much. And with that, we say goodnight, guys. Thank you. Bonsoir. Bonne nuit. Thank you for watching, guys. Thank you.